All right, so I'm actually going to leave some of the easier examples for you to solve on your own, but we'll talk about some that are not as easy. So number 1 would be easy for you to do on your own. Number 2, 9x squared and 4 are both perfect squares, so we can factor it. Now this would be 3x, and this would be 2, so we would have 3x plus 2 times 3x minus 2. And then now if we want to find the solutions would be negative, subtract 2 and divide by 3, so negative 2/3 and positive 2/3. All right, for part B, or number 3, the thing is it's not a difference of squares. However, the first term is negative, so if we just switch these around, then it would be a difference of squares. 49 minus 9b squared, and then the square root of this would be 7, the square root of this would be 3b, so we would write 7 plus 3b times 7 minus 3b. So then your solutions would be negative 7/3 and positive 7/3. And you can write, instead of two separate ones, you can write plus or minus 7/3. For part 4, a to the 4th power, the square root of that would be a squared. So here we would have a squared plus, and then the square root of 625, I believe, is 25. Yep, 25. And then a squared minus 25. Now, I actually wouldn't have you solve a question like this. Well, maybe we'll just talk about it. So here, if I solved for a, I would get a squared equals negative 25, because you would subtract it over and then take the square root. But the problem is you can't take the square root of a negative number, because if you typed it into your calculator, it would give you an error. So that is not going to give us a solution. However, this will. So we'll do a squared equals 25. If you take the square root of that, whenever you take the square root of a negative number, a regular number, you have to say plus or minus 5. All right, and so just to give you a little tip here, this would be 9c squared, and this would be 2, and then this would be x, and this would be 4y in parentheses. So I'm not going to do all of the questions to keep the video short. Okay, number 7 and 8 are a little bit different because 12 and 48 are not perfect squares. However, what we can do here is we can divide both sides, or we can divide everything by a common factor, which would be 12. So what if we divide everything here by 12? Then we would get 1 minus 4x squared equals 0, because 0 divided by 12 is still 0. And now this is a difference of squares because 1 is actually a perfect square. The square root of 1 is 1. So we would have 1 plus 2x, and then 1 minus 2x. So then the solutions would be x equals plus or minus, move the 1 over, then divide by 2, 1/2. Right, we could do the same thing in part 8. So we could factor out and then this doesn't say if you're solving, then you could divide, but if you're factoring, then you would just factor it out. So we could factor out a 3 here. So you get x squared minus 9b squared, and then you would factor this out as a difference of squares. So put plus, minus. Also, you can do minus, plus, doesn't matter. The order, x and x, and then 3b and 3b. So that would be that factored. All right. So the rest of the examples I will put in the Elastic for tomorrow. So that is the end of this lesson, and I hope you guys have a great day.